As vocation director, I've often been asked this very good question. Why should I consider a religious vocation? Why should I consider a religious vocation? Why should we consider any vocation? Because it's really to find out what does God want for us in our life, you know? And again, the different vocations that are available, of course, right? Being married, right? Religious order, consecrated life, right? Consecrating ourselves, priesthood, right? And also the single life. So there's different options, but particularly in this question, the religious vocation, and in that particularly saying, I would say a calling to a religious order. And I would hope, of course, if God's calling you to the order of mercy, but of course I'm biased, I would say that, wouldn't I? Yes, of course. So why should I consider a religious vocation? Why? Again, to fulfill all the dreams and longings of your heart. Ultimately, our hearts are restless until they rest in God. But the kingdom of heaven has become a reality since Jesus was born, died, and rose again. And the religious vocation in a particular way expresses that reality. To say that the kingdom of heaven is for real, that our life is not just what we see here and now, but it's always ordered towards the hereafter, towards heaven, towards that life of eternal beatitude and blessing. And in the religious life, you can begin to get some concept of that or live it in a deep, profound way in having a very structured prayer life, where you're going to be able to spend many more moments in silence with God and encountering Him in your brothers and community and encountering Him in the ministries that you will have with other people. So religious vocation is beautiful in a sense of a gift of yourself for others, for love of God and neighbor. And in that religious vocation, you're gonna become the greater lover. If God is calling you to be loving in this way, you'll be a greater lover, greater lover of God and human beings, and share in that mission of helping to proclaim the good news that we are not lost in sin, that our life does not end at death, that there is no sin I can ever be forgiven. But no, there is freedom and there is release, and there is the love of God. Remember, friends, that we are made in the image of love, because God is love. We're made in the image of God. God is love. And what a beautiful thing that is. And so often we don't think about that or are mindful of it. But us as religious, especially in our vocation, are to call people, to remind them of this truth, to speak that truth into their heart. And maybe God's asking that of you, to witness to the world that our God is love and that we are called to be lovers of God and of each other. And what our world needs now more than ever, right, is love. How much we need that. Deep, profound love, not just the counterfeit, but the deep, profound love that satisfies from here into eternity. So why should I consider a religious vocation? Why should I consider a religious vocation? Because it's the best vocation if it's the one God wants for you. And it'll be the one that'll make the biggest difference for the greatest number of souls, potentially.